Okay, so today we're going to work with multiple screens and transferring data through them. So I already made an app here, just going to slide it in. We have our 7 different seats in a really small airplane. So if I were to click on seat 1, a new screen pops up and I enter my name. I'm going to go with A and my phone number is going to be 2. I press buy, I go back to my original screen and the button becomes reserved. And if I go to the contact information, you can see my name and phone number right there at C1. Now there's a small button right here which you can't see because my screen is too small. So I'm just going to click that to go back to my original screen. So today we're going to make this app. Now, already created this project, and it's because I do not want to do it from scratch because that will take too long. So right here we have my 3 different classes. My first class is my main class, so I have my is where the button's going to be. My input class is where I'm going to input my name and phone number, and my contact info class is where everything is going to get outputted to. So I also have my 3 layouts. So C1 to 7 right here, and my contact info button. And then my info layout, which I enter my name and my phone number, which is the buy and sell button. And then my contact layout, which is just very simple. There's small text right there and a back button. So inside my main, we have my BTN contact, and I put my 7 seats as an array. And then so right here you can see I initialized the buttons already with my BTN contact as well. And then over here I haven't done anything yet, but do keep in mind I am using extends activity implements on click listener. So just to keep that in mind. Now over here in my input class, I've also used implement on click listener. I have my 3 buttons, my BTN buy, sell, and back, and my edit text name and phone. So I initialized those already, and there's nothing here. So that's what we're going to be working on right now. And then same as this, implement on click listener. There's only one button here, which is the BTN back. And then we have I initialized the LBL contact and the BTN back. Now the thing is, when you're opening a new class, it doesn't have the on create or the on click set up for you. So you're gonna have to do that yourself. Gotta go to the source and override implement method and find on create, and then that'll just pop it up for you. Now if you don't know what I'm talking about, probably this is not the video that's for you. So anyways, let's keep going. Okay, so let's focus on the main class first. So right now I have my 7 buttons already initialized. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create the set on clicks. So I'm going to use a for loop for that. So for int I equals to 0, and then I plus plus, because the letter I is my favorite letter. And then so I'm going to do btn seats dot set on click this. So what this does is if I were to press on any of these buttons right here, it would automatically direct me to this part. So I'm going to do that for BTN contact as well. Alright, so what we're going to do over here is we're going to create a bunch of if statements. Now the reason why is when we click on a button in our activity main layout, since there's more than one button, the computer doesn't know which button we're pressing. So right here we're going to make an if statement, v.getId equals r.id.btn1. So right here what I did is, if I were to press on the first button, then the thing inside would happen. So what I'm going to do now is going to have to make 7 different ones. Okay, so I finished creating all my different if statements for buttons 1 through 7 and my BTN contact. Now if you were to look, I also added something new as well. This is called an intent, and again I'm going to use I my favorite letter, and A, my second favorite letter. So what intent does is intent is going to help me transfer data to my different classes. So the intent I is going to transfer data to the input class, and the intent A is going to transfer data to the content info class. So right here, if I were to press button 1, if I were to press seat 1, I would do I.putExtra seat comma 1 and start activity for result. So what this does is the I.putExtra is sort of like a folder of files. Seat is one of the files inside the folder, and I is the information stored inside the file. So if I were to click on button 2, then 2 would be stored inside the file. So it's sort of like this is telling the other class what seat is getting clicked on. Now if I were to go down here, it's the same for all of them except for BTN contact. Now in BTN contact, we're going to be going to a different class. So that's why we're going to use A instead. So we're going to do A.putExtra total and then comma STR total. Our STR total will be all of the information added together, the person's name, phone, and seat number. So we haven't got that yet, but don't worry. So now that we got this, we're going to look at our input. Okay, so now we're going to look at our input class. Now our input class has our 3 buttons, of course. So right now I'm going to have to initialize my 3 buttons. Dot set on click, cell dot set on click, btn back dot set on click. Now, so we're going to have to create if statements again. So if I were to press on v.getID, if I were to press on my btn by, then something would happen. If I were to press on my v.getID, then something else would happen. And then so last thing we have to do is for, gotta change that. Apologize for the wait. Anyways, alright, so we got that done. So if you, now, let's see, what do we do next? So we have our intent here. Now this intent is to get the information that was passed on from the main class. So what we do here is, if I press the buy button, then obviously all the information that was stored on the info, that was stored on the text fields, all the information that was here and here, will get stored onto variables that I've set up. So as you can see, I set up my str name and str phone, and then so my str name equals txt name text dot to string. My str phone is the same thing, txt phone dot get text dot to string. Alright, so now here comes the part that you're not used to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I equals to get intent. So what this does is the letter I, my favorite letter, it's going to get the information that was passed on through by the main class over there. So if I were to do str seat equals to I dot get string extra seat, what this does is it's reading the seat file that I sent over from the main class, and it's taking that information and putting it into my string seat over there. So what I do now is I'm going to put some more information there. I want to send some information back, so I'm going to send the name of the person back. I'm going to send the phone of the person back, the phone number, and I'm going to send the seat number back as well. Seat str seat. Okay, so what this does is I created 3 files with 3 separate pieces of information on it. and I send it back to the main class. So after that, after I'm done, I'm going to have to do set result underscore OK I, and then I'm going to write finish that. That's not how you spell finish. There we go. So what this does is set result tells the code, hey, everything is doing fine, everything is doing a-okay, then let's go. So finish, since it's done its job, it's going to finish and it's going to end itself. So right here, this is the sell button. So what I'm going to do here is if the person pressed the sell button, I'm going to erase the information that was stored on previously. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to do I equals to get intent again. Now the reason I did that is because I still want the seat number on which the person pressed the button on. So if the person pressed seat 4, then I would know that he's trying to sell seat 4. So str seat equals to I dot get string extra. And again, the seat transfers the file, the information to this seat. Just making sure you know what's going on. So I'm going to put the name back, but this time I'm going to write nothing in it. So what I've just done is I've created a file with no information in it. So if there was any previous information that was stored on this seat, it would just get erased. And if there wasn't any information, then nothing's, no harm done. Now I'm going to do the same thing for phone number as well. But the thing that I don't change is my seat, because I can't really erase my seat. str seat. And then I'm going to tell everyone that everything is a-okay, everything is doing fine. And then I'm going to finish this guy off. That's definitely not how you spell finish. Alright. Now what we have to do now is the back button. Now the back button is actually very easy to do. So what I'm going to do is I.getIntent again. And then this time I'm not going to put any information. I'm not going to take any information. I'm just going to say set result is a-okay. I'm going to tell the code it's doing fine. I'm just going to finish. Oh, there we go. I spelled it right. So what this does is the code thinks that, oh, everything's done. Let's go back. But I haven't sent any information or retrieved any information at all. So let's move on. Now, since for the BTN buy and my BTN sell, I've sent information back to my main class. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have to create a method in my main class to receive the information that I've sent from my input. So right here, I'm going to have to add a source. So I'm going to right click onto source, override, and I'm going to do on activity result. So what this is just when the information is sent back from the input class, it's going to go directly into here. So what I'm going to put here is just going to put my int seat, and I'm going to make an if statement. So if data dot get extra dot contain key name and that. So what this does is this is to differentiate if I'm pressing the buy or sell button or if I'm pressing the back button. So if I were to press the buy or sell button for my input class, it would go directly to here. If I were to press my back button, it wouldn't do anything at all, because my back button didn't send any information at all. So just gonna create some variables right now. So str total equals to nothing right now, and then my str name equals to data dot get string extra name. Now what this does is data is the sort of like the intent I got from my input. You can see right here, intent data. So get string extra, same thing you see in input. I'm getting the information that was stored in the name file and putting it into my string. So I'm going to do the same thing for phone data dot get string. Now I'm taking the information that's stored on the phone file and putting it into my str phone. Equals data dot get string seat. So So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to parse the string seat. So int seat equals to integer dot parse str seat. So the reason I did that is because I need a position to place my information at, and that int seat is going to give me its position. So another thing I have to do is remember the reserved thing sign I did a while ago? So I'm going to make a different if statement for that. So if str name dot equals nothing. So if someone pressed the sell button, that's the only way that str name will equal to nothing. Then I'm going to say btn seat int seat -1 because this is an array and it goes from 0 to 6. So dot set text equals to seat, and then I'm going to plus int seat. Now that's my position right here. And else is when someone does buy the seat. So bnt seat int seat -1, which is my position, set text. And then we have reserved in big letters because, you know, we mean business. Alright. So the next thing we have to do is we have to set our name and phone into my string info array, which I made right here. So I'm going to do string info int seat -1 equals to name plus str name plus /n, because I want to put it on different lines. So look neat number plus str phone plus seat number plus str seat plus /n to create the next line. So then after that information is stored into my array, I'm going to make a for loop and add everything in my array together. So int I, because you know I like the letter I, and I plus plus. So string total is going to be my, obviously, total, plus equals to str info bracket I. So what this does is it's going to take all the information that's stored in my string of info and put it in my string total. And after it does that, if I were to click on the btn contact, it's going to take all the information and put it in a total file and send that file into my contact info class. Okay, so now let's look at my contact info class. So over here, I did implement onClick listener again, and then I have my btn back, and I already explained this before. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to implement the btn back. So btn back dot set onClick this. So what we're going to do now is we have our intent A already. Now intent A is the information we got through our main activity. So as you remember, our main activity, we sent the total file all the way to the contact info. So what's inside the total file is all the information, all the contact information that's stored. So I'm going to do A equals to get intent, and then I'm going to do str total equals to A dot get string extra total. So what this does is it takes all the information in the total class and it throws it into my str total. So then I'm just going to do lbl contact set text equals str total. Easy enough. And then over here is if you were to click the back button, I'm just going to do A equals get intent, and then set result. Let's see, set result is in oops. And then put that at A, oops. Put that A right there, and then I'm going to do finish. Okay, so there's a last thing we have to do before this can all work. So what we have to do is we have to go to our testing 3 manifest. Now you can usually find this manifest, it's called Android manifest, and it's right sorry for the lag. Right under all your folders, right here. So if you were to click it, it pops up. Come on, it pops up this, which we're not going to touch. So we're going to look at the Android manifest.xml part. So this is the part we're going to look at. And as we can see there's one form already right here, and this is our main class. We have our main activity, main, and launcher. So what we want to do is we want to copy and paste our two other classes here. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to copy and then Control V, bro. So now all I have to do is I'm going to change the name to dot input, and then I'm going to copy and paste this part to here, because this is not the main and I do not want to set this as the main. So want to change this part is all capitals, and then right here we want to change this to default because we don't want to launch this first. This is going to get launched second, I think. And now we're going to do the same thing for our contact info class. Oops, not that. Didn't copy the right thing. Copy that down. And then change the name to contact info. And then change that name, all capital, contact info. Save that and then run it. Alright, it finally came up. So we're going to press seat 1, and then because, you know, I like blocking people with my enormous height. So JAS, you know what, forget it. My name's going to be Jar. Telephone number is going to be 123. Oh, actually my name is Jazz. So look at that. My seat's reserved. Look how special I am. So, hey look, I want to buy another seat. So I'm just going to press, this time my name is going to be AJ, and then my phone number is just going to be 5. And I press buy, and look, that seat's reserved too. If I were to go to contact information, look at the names. My name Jazz 123, seat 1. Name AJ, telephone number 5, seat number 5. Coincidence? So then I press the back button, and then I'm back in my main menu, and suppose I don't want to sit in the front anymore. I just have to click in and then press sell, and then it's back to original. And if I go look at the contact information's gone, but AJ is still there by himself. Alright, thanks for watching.